Ohio State, since the start of 2024, has won a grand total of 26 games with 2 losses. They're the number one program in America. And I don't want to forget that they have a national championship in there and 4 wins in the college football playoff. They are one of the most physical teams in America. They are as tough as nails. They develop at an elite level. They have finesse and a swagger to them that is also usually correlated with the best programs, and some would argue is a causation for being a top program or causes a program to be at the top. And their prestige, their history, which has said and says they're the number one program in America, well, that's being lived out right now because this is one of the best runs in college football history, much like the Georgia one from the end of 2021 until the SEC championship game in 2023. It is fantastic in the same way as Clemson's run was in the late 2010s, where you have these long win streaks and they're impressive, and within those you dominate teams at the top and cement that you are at the top. And that's what Ohio State did in their win over Michigan. They showed that they're the number one program in football and that you have to be at a certain level to even play with them, not just to stop them, but to hang with them, to dance with them. You have to be at a certain prestige and level and have a certain type of coach and roster and staff to do that. I already talked about it. 1 national title, 7-1 versus the top 10 in FPI. They are undefeated against anyone not within the top 10 in FPI since 2024, outside of Michigan at home last year, which was, a very weird loss. Chalk that up as one of the weirdest losses of the 21st century, with a 26-2 overall record in that time frame. I think that with the Buckeyes, some people don't understand this defense and how it can perform this well after what it lost. Now, in some regards, you could argue that it doesn't make sense, but in another regard, you could argue that it does make sense. They have the athletes, they have the position coaches, they have the coordinator. Their previous coordinator left them in a good place, and they returned their green dot guy, Caleb Downs, and Sonny Styles. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. And they also rotated enough last year to where you got to see some live game reps of who the future was going to be, and you knew that at bare minimum, it was going to be good or great, like a top 15, top 10 defense, certainly top 10 in terms of personnel. And all these things have went right, and right now it's the best defense in America. What Patricia has done is absolutely phenomenal, and defense wins championships. So that is another reason why they're 12-0 right now, and why they're peaking. Ohio State under Day is having, relative to the rest of the sport, their best era under Day, their best time frame under Day. I say relative to the rest of the sport because I think 2019 was and will always be Ryan Day's best team from a power ratings angle. But that was a different era in football where recruiting was more structured and more hierarchical. You couldn't, pay players, at least directly. So other things like blue blood status and history came into play. And yeah, I think everyone understands that. But relative to the state of the sport, Ryan Day and Ohio State are in the best position they've ever been in as a couple, as a pair together. They are a quarterback factory where they lose Will Howard, and Sayan is a record setter and breaks the regular season record for completion percentage. They lose C.J. Stroud, and no, Kyle McCord was not amazing, but Kyle McCord also wasn't terrible. See what he did at Syracuse. And that is their bare minimum, is Kyle McCord, a quarterback that many schools would love to have. They're a receiver factory, with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate being wide receiver 1 and 2 in college football right now, and wide receiver 1 and 2 in the next 2 NFL drafts. It's incredible what they have been able to do with that position. And Brian Hartline is now the head coach at USF. He'll stay with the team through the playoffs. His stamp has been made on history. He is the greatest position coach of all time, and the run that he has had is incredible with receivers. I know there's going to be someone in the comment section probably saying that, well, he did it with a bunch of 5 stars. The hit rate that he had with prospects, even with 5 stars, was unusual and was special. And to have them all go in the first round it's bananas. It's great to be on top. And will this happen forever? I don't know. But is it the case now? Yes. And I think the great thing, if you are a Buckeye fan, if you are a player, if you are a coach there, no matter who you are, is that as long as Ryan Day is the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, they will always be close to the top, if not at the top. And every single year, they will be competing for national championships, for Big Ten championships, and 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, they will always be in the college football playoff. And that's special, and that's something that most other programs, if not no other program, can say. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.